All right, Chair and our board members, we are now live.
Okay, the meeting will now come to order. Welcome to the November 22nd, 2021 City of Asheville Board of Adjustments meeting. My name is Pratik Bhakta and I am chair of this board. The Board of Adjustments is a quasi-judicial body that is governed by the North Carolina General Statutes and the city's Unified Development Ordinance. We are authorized to hear requests for variances from the city's Unified Development Ordinance, also referred to as the UDO, appeals from final determinations made by city officials charged with enforcement of the city's UDO, requests for reasonable accommodations, and other requests as may be provided in the city's ordinances. All committee members and staff are participating virtually. We appreciate your patience as we work through committee meetings online and a bit differently. We are streaming live on our virtual engagement hub, which is accessible through the virtual engagement hub link on the front page of the city website and also linked on the Board of Adjustments page. We also have an option for the public to listen live by phone and participate. Dial 855-925-2801 and when prompted, enter code 9255. Again, I'll restate this for anyone watching or listening. The public may participate by dialing 855-925-2801 and when prompted, enter code 9255. The automated system will ask you to press *3 to be heard. And for those of you out there with us today, welcome. I will now go through and introduce all the committee members who are participating virtually. Please make sure to mute and unmute your microphone when you're speaking and not speaking. And when you have a question, just unmute your microphone. Committee members, as I call your name, please say a quick hello. Bill Newman.
Hey, Pratik.
David Angelis.
Hey, Pratik.
Paul Wazinski.
Here. Hi.
Carter Webb.
Here. Hey.
Also with us today is our Assistant City Attorney, Eric Edgerton. I'd also like that anyone speaking today, including staff, to state their names and titles for the record before speaking and be sworn in if you haven't done so at the very beginning. To help our audience follow along, I'll state each section of the agenda aloud and do a vocal roll call for each vote. Additionally, I ask that committee members raise their hands to speak and we'll call upon them. The first thing on our agenda is the adoption of the minutes from September 2021 and October 25th, 2021. And I'm seeking a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Wazinski, do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor? Say aye.
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 Any opposed? None. Motion passes. Minutes have been approved. Okay, now general introduction to the quasi-judicial decisions. We now begin the evidentiary hearings for the cases listed on the agenda. In hearing cases, the board conducts a quasi-judicial evidentiary hearing. That means it is like a court hearing. State law sets specific procedures and rules concerning how this board must make its decisions. These rules are different from some other types of land use decisions like rezoning cases, which are legislative in nature. This board's decisions are constrained by the standards in the city's ordinance and the facts presented at the hearing. The board hears and considers evidence presented at the hearing and applies the standards set forth in state law and the city's ordinance. The board must base its decision upon competent material and substantial evidence presented at the hearing. If you will be speaking as witness, please focus on the facts and standards, not personal preferences or opinions. Participation is limited. This meeting is open to the public. Everyone is welcome to watch. Parties have rights to participate fully. Parties may present evidence, call witnesses, and make legal arguments. Witnesses may testify as to facts to which they are competent to testify, so long as those facts relate to the legal standards. In addition, lay or non-expert witnesses' testimony is limited to facts and not opinions. For certain topics, this board needs to hear opinions testimony from expert witnesses. These topics include projections about impacts on property values and projections about impacts on traffic safety. For variance requests, a 4/5 vote of the board is required to grant the variance. For all other hearings and matters, including the adoption of the minutes, the decision will be made by a simple majority of the board. Witnesses must swear or affirm their testimony, and at this time, we will administer the oath for all individuals who intend to provide witness testimony. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the evidence you shall give to the board in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
So now we will begin with our agenda items. There are 2 items listed on the agenda. The first one was the petitioner Chris German on behalf of the owners James and Lillian Bassett were requesting a variance for the front setback development standard found in section 7-8-6 F5 setback standards of the UDO. The second is the petitioner Rob Dole, PLA, on behalf of the owners Greenhagen Properties LLC, are requesting a variance to the development standards found in section 7-8-13 F9 parking and loading standards of the UDO. Since those 2 variance requests are on the agenda, however, the first petitioner on the agenda has withdrawn the application and will not be seeking a variance at this time. Ricky, can you confirm?
That is correct. We have an email from the petitioner withdrawing the case.
Okay. We will then move on to the second agenda item, which is Mr. Rob Dole with Greenhagen Properties. I will hand this over to Mr. Ricky Hurley to make the presentation.
All right. Thank you, Chair. Tyler, will you go ahead and bring up our slideshow for this one? And thank you, everyone, for joining us today, and happy Thanksgiving a little early to everyone while we get going here.
Ricky, all I have is the board pack is starting with Exhibit 1.
Okay. That's okay. I'll jump with the slideshow. I've got it right up here handy.
Okay.
And keep that board packet handy because Rob may need that when he gets in his presentation.
Yes. Great.
Okay. Let me see if I can get up here and present that really quick. Okay, here. Hopefully everybody sees that. It should say 52 Clayton. I see it's coming up here. I'm waiting. Okay, so 52 Clayton Street. This is located just north of downtown off Charlotte Street. So as mentioned earlier in the introduction, it is for parking and loading standards, and that's within the Community Business 2 district. So here is the zoning map. Let me know if that is. Let me just zoom in just a little bit more for everyone. A bit larger. It's a small parcel. So this is Clayton Street here that runs east to west, just to the south. It's the parcel. It's kind of the light blue square rectangle inside the purple CB2. If you'll notice, it's office to the north and west, and then there's a office business to the south. Here's an aerial photo, and I think the biggest thing to notice is that there's a large vehicle use area in front of the building, immediately to the south, and the building is basically occupies the back half of the lot. And Rob, I took this from your packet just to talk about, whoa, sorry, everyone. I'll get back to the fit. Just for orientation, the building is here where it has Greenhagen Properties, and the existing vehicle use area is kind of the gray dimpled area. between the building and the street. Kind of the crux of the request is CB2 does not allow parking in front of buildings. But what's odd is that there's no parking here right now. What they have is like a maneuvering area because there's kind of a docks. There's 2 or 3 bay doors that were back in, I guess it used to be a warehouse building. And warehouse uses are not allowed in CB2, but light industrial is. And then, of course, here is the petitioner's Exhibit 1. Mr. Dole can go in a little bit more detail, but you can see here in the middle picture on the right, you can see the dock bay doors. The upper right, you can see kind of a picture of the existing DUA area from the street. And you have a very good picture at the bottom center that's straight on looking north at the building with the DUA in the center. They have been through a level 1 site plan review. I know it's very small, and we can zoom in with the board packet if you've seen it. But they're reusing the existing building and installing one ADA parking area here in the center of the VUA, a dumpster kind of north center, and then one conventional parking space a little bit closer to the street, and then the required street tree and landscaping area here in the southwest corner of the lot. So they'll be kind of modifying the drive apron to bring that into more compliance. Rob, is there anything I kind of missed on that one? Is that kind of a
No, I don't think so. I
summary?
think one of the important things that you touched on, is it's currently a non-compliant building. And so step 1 is we have to bring it into compliance. To bring it into compliance, requires this parking, and there's no physical way to meet the ordinance based on the way the building is sited on the lot. So our approach is, as you said, sort of change the maneuvering area into a proper parking area, and then do everything we can in terms of landscaping to sort of de-emphasize that use of that parking space. So we've provided more than the required landscaping. So vehicle use area, parking lot landscaping, building impact, none of that is required because of the size, but we've gone ahead and added all that in to try to help soften, the fact that there would be parking in front. But I think that the main key is it's a non-conforming building, and if you can't park in front of it, then as a warehouse space that's not allowed in the zoning district, then it seems there's no use for it.
Okay. Does the board need to see any of the packet information? I know that we have all the sheets of the level 1 site plan. If y'all want to look at that more detail, Tyler could present that, and we could look at any particular page that you may need to have questions regarding. Okay. All right. I will turn it over to the board for questions by me or the petitioner if you have any.
Are there any questions for the petitioner or staff? No? Okay. We'll open it up for public comments.
We don't have anybody in the queue.
Okay. Anything further from the petitioner? Nothing?
Yeah, I don't believe so, unless there's questions.
Just so I understand, Chair, just real quick, are you planning on getting a variance for the building as well, or some type of? I mean, you said something, and I'm showing my ignorance here, but
So currently, the building is storage and warehouse use, which is not allowed, and it's actually changing to light industrial processing.
Okay, so this is the first step in getting that changed.
Correct. So that change in use is allowed by right. It's the parking in front that is not. So essentially, our level 1 submittal was held up by this parking variance that's needed.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks.
Okay. I'm going to close public comments and open to the board for discussion. If anything? No? Then I'll seek a motion.
This is Paul. I move to grant the request for the variance.
Okay, we have a motion on the table.
And I'll second that one.
Second. Any further discussion? No? Okay, we'll go to a vote. Mr. Webb?
Aye.
Mr. Newman?
Aye.
Mr. Wazinski?
Aye.
Mr. Angelis?
Aye.
And aye from Pratik Bhakta. Motion has been granted and approved. Variance has been approved.
Excellent. Thank you guys so much for your time.
Thank you all very much.
Okay, and I don't believe we have any further new business.
That's correct.
Okay, so I'm looking for, if there are no objections, we will adjourn. Any objections? None? Okay, we will adjourn. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you for your time.